We welcome you to ESPN College Football Primetime presented by Ram Trucks. From Oxford, Ohio, we are ready for some midweek action between two perennial powers in this conference. It's the Miami, Ohio Redhawks and the Toledo Rockets. These two teams are responsible for 4 of the last 8 MAC championships, and no surprise, you look at the standings, both teams are right in it, chasing another. You look at our ESPN analytics, and they back that up. Both teams go above 50% chance to play for a MAC championship. With a win, with a loss, they would fall out of it. So a lot on the line tonight. Rocky Boyman, Jay Alter with you. We are looking forward to this one. It should be a close, competitive football game.
And here we are, Jay, mid-November. This is arguably the most important game in the entire season in the MAC. Whoever wins this game is in the driver's seat to go to Detroit.
The two perennial powers, and they both do it the same way. Backbone of these programs, defense.
And Toledo not only has one of the best defenses in the MAC, but in the entire country. I mean, allowing just 232 yards per game, and they do it, Jay. They stop the run, they fly to the ball, they stop the pass, they create takeaways, they come up and hit you. This is such a fun unit to watch, and Miami is going to have their hands full tonight.
Well, defensive coordinator Vince Karras in his unit, they can't be doing much better when you look at how they rank in the MAC.
Yeah, they're in top of the 4 most important categories when it comes to defense. That man right there has done a great job for a long time. This is one heck of a unit.
So for Miami, under Chuck Martin, the head coach for the Redhawks, they get it done on the defensive end. Who has to set the tone for them tonight?
Yeah, Corbin Hondrew coming off a fantastic game last week. He's a linebacker, 17 tackles, and they have their hands full stopping Tucker Gleason, the Toledo quarterback, who's coming off his best performance last week against NIU.
Well, they say defense wins championships. The winner of this one will be in a good position to play for another MAC title. It is a beautiful midweek action night here in November. We've got kickoff next on ESPN2. Moments away from kickoff. Should be a good one between Toledo and Miami. The Rockets won the toss deferred, so it'll be Miami ready to receive in a moment. One of the big storylines in this matchup, Miami quarterback Daquan Finn facing his former team. He had so much success playing for Toledo. You take a look at what he did for the Rockets. You know, MVP of this league in 2023, won the MAC in 2022, then decided to take his talents to Baylor, got injured early in that season, and then era of the transfer portal, it's back to the MAC. But now for Toledo, for Miami, he was having tons of success for the Redhawks this season, but then an hour before kickoff, we find out he's a surprise scratch on the injury report with an illness, so that is a huge loss for Miami. Big opportunity for Henry Hessen, 5th-year senior, who's about to make his 3rd career start.
Yeah, you can't understate the loss that Daquan Finn is. He's arguably one of the best overall athletes in the entire conference and very experienced, but it'll be Hessen tonight trying to lead this team.
The winner of this game not only goes into the driver's seat of the MAC championship race, along with Western Michigan, to play for a title in Detroit, but they get bowl eligibility, something that these two teams are very accustomed to. 2 long-tenured head coaches in Chuck Martin for Miami and Jason Candle for Toledo, and one thing they have done on a consistent basis is compete for a MAC championship and get to a bowl game. No different this season. Oftentimes, this conference comes down to this matchup. Toledo ready to get things going. Miami ready to receive. We are underway on a Wednesday night. Keith Reynolds returns it from his own 2. Good blocking, Reynolds. Past the 35, spun down to the 40, and it's good starting field position for a Miami offense without DeQuan Finn. In a big moment for Henry Hessen as we get our first look at the 5th-year senior quarterback.
Yeah, Henry Hessen, this is his 3rd start of the season. Started early in the year against Linwood. He's experienced, so he knows this offense. He's had some practice here this week. I mean, Miami runs the ball, Jay, very, very well. They're really going to have to lean on that run game here tonight.
Well, yeah, you're going to have to try and rely on what has been a reliable run game, Rocky, but a pre-snap whistle.
Offside with contact, defense, number 12. 5-yard penalty, first down.
And it goes against Toledo. So not only do you get a great return, but you get Toledo to commit a penalty before the first snap on the opening drive. Play action. Hessen throws. Nobody home in the secondary. Looking for Keith Reynolds. He was in the area.
And as we talked about Toledo's defense, it'd be a little easier task for Hessen going against a different unit. But the secondary in particular, Jay, for Toledo, I mean, they got guys that are potential NFL draft picks. That's the caliber of guys they have back there. They like to really stack that box, take away the run, and force you to beat them one-on-one with the pass.
You mentioned the strong run game of Miami. Jordan Brunson gets his first carry. They're 3rd and manageable. And they were gifted a free 5 yards. You want to show you can move the chains early in this game with your backup quarterback.
Yeah, especially when you get the penalty against Toledo to start the drive here. You're already up against it with a backup quarterback. Love to get some momentum getting the first down here.
Third and 3. Brunson trying to bounce outside. He's got the first down and more into Toledo territory. Jordan Brunson delivers.
Huge play, and Toledo is usually a defense that does well having an edge. But this, for whatever reason, this time on their left side, no one has that edge. And Jordan Brunson, he's a big back, but you can see he's got a little speed to him. Huge first down to start this game.
Gain of 16. I just think early in this game, that's what you need when you got Henry Hessen making it his 3rd career start. He's been a program guy, 5th year of the system, but certainly lacks a lot of athleticism when you compare him to DeQuan Finn, who's been a MAC most valuable player. Hessen pump fakes, now rolls right, surveys, and just has to throw it away.
And you mentioned the difference. I mean, DeQuan Finn, he was best when the play breaks down. He would spin and just keep a play alive until somebody got open. Hessen is kind of more like their former quarterback, Brett Gabbert, a little more of a pocket guy. He's going to stand back there, survey the field, try to find open guys, and it's up to these Miami wide receivers against, again, a formidable secondary to get open. They got to find ways to get open for Hessen.
And a very different quarterback than Finn. So if you're the Toledo defense thinking, okay, we're going to face our former teammate who we know very well, Hessen very much a pocket passer as they continue with the ground game and Brunson. And that brings up a 3rd down. And you already, Rocky, might be in 4-down territory here on the opening drive.
I think certainly if you're Miami here, you're not necessarily trying to get 6 yards. You need to get 3 or 4 here and maybe set up a more manageable 4th down. Yeah, they certainly could run the ball here.
And Josh Ringer, the redshirt freshman, comes into the backfield on the right hip of Hessen. Hessen back to throw. Goes to the secondary. Inches away, but incomplete. It was Cam Perry trying to haul that in.
He went to their best wide receiver, Cam Perry, and Cam Perry has absolute rockets for legs. That guy is fast. Almost got behind Avery Smith, the great cover man for Toledo. Again, I thought on third down there, they might run the ball a little bit, maybe try to pick up 3 or 4.
Yeah, you make it 4th and 2 instead of 4th and 6. Instead, Hessen went for it all. Offense stays on the field. Hessen surveys, tries to escape the sack, falls forward, but he's short. Needed to get to the 27, only got to the 30.
On the field,
Malachi Davis,
short of the line to gain.
Turnover on down. So Toledo defense delivers like they've done all season, and the Rockets will have the ball when we come back. For the first time, their quarterback, Tucker Gleason, Rocky, coming off his best game of the season.
Yeah, he certainly did. He was deadly accurate last week, just hitting guys in the hands all over the place. And what you love about Tucker Gleason, you love his size, 6'3", 245, got a great arm. And also 5th year in the system, Jay. You just don't see that anymore. And all that experience is paying off for Toledo.
It's kind of an endangered species in college football. And also to have the same guy calling your plays, it's the head coach, Jason Candle. He thinks so much of his veteran quarterback. And when you're in a big game like this one, where if you win, you continue the hunt for a MAC championship game, but you lose and your quest for a championship is over, you can rely on a quarterback like Gleason.
100%. Again, the experience. He's been in big games like this, been in ones that matter, and the games that your season kind of weighs in the balance against, he'll be calm and cool out there.
Hands it off to Chip Trainum. Trainum, very patient through the hole, gets all the way to midfield. Big impact transfer from Kentucky. Trainum a gain of 12.
And it was his first game back last week, Jay. He had missed 2 because of injury. And I thought he looked just a little kind of rusty. I saw a little burst there. I think that's what they're excited about Chip Trainum. He's a big back, but has that burst that you need.
Gleason throwing on first down. He finds his top target, number 2, Junior Vanderross, and expect to hear that name early and often tonight.
Yeah, he leads the MAC with 9 touchdowns. He is the go-to guy for Tucker Gleason.
Both Gleason and Vanderross come from Tampa, Florida. They have combined to be one of the best quarterback wide receiver combos, not just in the MAC, but in all of college football. Gleason going under center for the first time tonight. Play action again. Pressure comes. Looked like he was trying to find Trainum out of the backfield, and Miami brought pressure. Adam Trick got to him.
And you see Adam Trick coming from the bottom of your screen. That's the second time in a row he has gotten around Stephen Gale's the left tackle. Adam Trick, long, got speed, 6'4", 250. He had 2 sacks against Wisconsin. They got to find a way to block number 20 tonight, here on this third down especially.
3rd and 5. Gleason surveys, throws. It's caught. First down, Toledo. A critical 3rd down pickup. And, of course, it's Junior Vanderross who keeps the drive alive.
And as a quarterback, you got to be able to fit the ball in tight windows. Look at this, right between 2 black jerseys. Vanderross knows how to get open. He's savvy. He knows, hey, if I create separation, my quarterback, he just needs a little window, and Tucker Gleason, again, put it on the money.
There's Trainum. Ran into a black wall there. No room to run. The one thing that's been strange for Jason Candle, this Toledo team this season, is they are 5-0 at home, but 0-4 away. They're hoping they can change that. And we asked him, how does that happen? And he said, to be honest with you, we've played well on the road. We've just had some small things that haven't broke our way. And
yeah, and the biggest reason, they're scoring significantly more points at home than on the road.
Gleason overshoots Trainum there. You mentioned the scoring points. They're averaging 40-plus points per game at home, and on the road they've been limited to under 15.
I mean, that is a significant difference, 47 to under 15. And a lot of that, Jay, comes down to big plays. They've been getting them at home. They need to find some here tonight on the road.
And I think that's the point. They have just been exceptional at home, and while they haven't won on the road, it's not like they're playing poorly. 3 of those 4 games, 1 score. They're hoping they can leave Miami with a win. 3rd and 10. Gleason throws. It's caught. Great grab. Trayvon Rudolph, first down Toledo. They have had 2 big-time 3rd down conversions on this opening drive.
And when a lot of the attention goes to Junior Vanderross, Trayvon Rudolph has been the guy benefiting. Look at this great crossing, deep crossing route. And Rudolph last week, Jay, he had the big opening kickoff touchdown against NIU. Comes up with a big catch there. Yeah, he's becoming their big play guy.
Gain of 32 puts Toledo in the red zone. 1st and goal. Gleason rolling right, checks it down. Well defended by Miami. Rudolph shoved out of bounds. Jackson Kuwatch all over him, the transfer from Ohio State. Second and goal, Gleason. He took it out of Trainum very late, and Miami was not fooled.
And Jay, I like the idea here. I think they should run Gleason a little bit more, especially, again, a kind of game like this, mid-November action. This area of the field is where he really likes to use his legs. I expect to see more of that here tonight.
Speaking with Toledo's coaches this week, they said we cannot settle for field goals. We've got to punch it in.
Yep.
This has been a long opening drive, 10 plays in it. Can they find the end zone on a 3rd and goal?
Junior Vander Ross in motion.
Gleason in trouble, throws off his back foot. It's a prayer, and it may have been intercepted. Back of the end zone, and it is an interception. Eli Kappas read that ball like a center fielder, just tracked it to the back of the end zone, and the officials say he did get a foot in. This will obviously be reviewed.
Yeah, and Tucker Gleason just kind of threw the thing up. I think he was trying to just throw it out of the back of the end zone, but he didn't get it far enough, and Kappas catches it 1 foot in. That's a catch.
ESPN College Football Primetime is presented by Ram, official sponsor of the College Football Playoff.
Still scoreless between Miami and Toledo. Rocky Boyman, Jay Alter with you. The Rockets, they were putting together an impressive opening drive and then a massive moment here on 3rd and goal.
Yeah, and Miami dials up some pressure. They bring 6. And for Tucker Gleason, you're trying to throw that thing out of bounds. Throw it 100 yards out of bounds. Throw it on top of that building behind you instead of just trying to get it just out the back of the end zone. And Eli Kappas with a huge interception gets the ball back to the offense.
Yeah, swing of momentum as Toledo was driving. Really impressive opening drive, but no points to show for it. Because even if you throw that ball away, Rocky, you're kicking a field goal.
Right. Yeah.
Instead, just floated it up there and gave Kappas a chance to run under it.
Yeah, it's just something you wouldn't expect to see out of Tucker Gleason, as we said, a veteran quarterback, been in this system 5 years, played a lot of snaps, just not a mistake you usually see an experienced guy like that make.
An opportunity now for the Red Hawks offense to try and capitalize on that mistake, and they're doing it with their backup quarterback, Henry Hessen, getting the start instead of former Toledo quarterback and MAC MVP, DeQuan Finn. On 2nd and 10, hands it off. That's Keith Reynolds out of the backfield. Makes one man miss. Gets near the first down. He's signaling that it's a first, and the officials agree with him.
And Jay, this is the second time Miami's gotten outside the edge. Look, there's got to be an edge to that defense. And Keith Reynolds, he plays wide receiver, he plays a little running back, but either way, he's fast. You get the ball, he can get to the perimeter. Got to have an edge of that defense there.
Grew up in California, transferred in from Washington. Chuck Martin, the head coach of Miami, said, we don't get a lot from out west, but he has been an impact player because of the strong lineage of successful wide receivers he's had in this program. 1st and 10, play action. Hessen rolls left, nobody open, decides to just tuck and run for 2 yards. Hessen took a hit over on that Toledo sideline.
And Hessen, as he was running, he was trying to find Cam Perry, who's far and away their best wide receiver. But guess what? Avery Smith is one of the top cover cornerbacks in the MAC. And as he was trying to break away upfield, he was covered up.
Well, this Toledo defense, we told you before kickoff, they're number 2 in all of college football in total yards allowed. Points at a premium tonight with 2 really good defenses, and Henry Hessen takes a timeout. The 5th-year senior quarterback just making his 3rd career start in place of Finn, and there's something he didn't like there. So 2nd and 9 when we come back. We welcome you back to ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by Ram Trucks. There's Miami head coach Chuck Martin, veteran head coach, two-time MAC champion in 2019 and in 2023. These are two programs that are often playing for a MAC championship in Detroit. The winner of this one certainly takes control of getting to that game, and when they're there, they have won it 4 of the last 8 years between these two programs. Miami trying to get there with their backup quarterback. That's Henry Hessen. Rocky Boyman, I'm curious, when you're a defense, you played linebacker 8 years in the NFL, you're expecting DeQuan Finn all week long, and then you see Henry Hessen. How do you react?
That's what it is. Every single meeting, every single day of the week, it's how do we stop DeQuan Finn? The game plan kind of circulates around that, and even though Hessen doesn't have the experience or the accolades of DeQuan Finn, it takes a little time for them to settle in. So it'll be interesting to see how Toledo's defense, what they do to tweak things now with Hessen at the helm.
Well, so far, so good. Still scoreless as we tick near 5 minutes remaining in this opening quarter. 3rd and 8. Hessen trying to spin out of a sack, and down he goes. Doran Ray Jr., the senior from Detroit, just got enough of Hessen to bring him down.
And again, this is where DeQuan Finn was so good. When the play would break down, nothing there, he could find a little hole and shoot out of it, but just Hessen not the athlete that DeQuan Finn is, and Toledo finds a way to bring him to the ground.
And look, I asked you about how Toledo faces it defensively. Clearly, it's a disadvantage for Miami, too. They've been playing with DeQuan Finn all season long, but we know how it affects the offense. I was curious from the defensive perspective, and so far Toledo's handled it quite well. And Bryson Hammer on the return, hit right as he caught it. Still pretty good field position for this Toledo offense. As we remind you, our ABC Saturday college football triple header loaded. Rocky, you're Irish in Pittsburgh. College game day there to get everything started in the morning, and then noon Eastern time on ABC, followed by Oklahoma and Alabama, and that Texas-Georgia game's going to be so good.
That's going to be fantastic.
Yesterday, the College Football Playoff Committee announcing their projected 12, and a lot of teams that we just showed you playing on that ABC triple header will be in action. Alabama, Georgia, Texas, Notre Dame. As we get to mid-November, that's what everybody's talking about. Who's going to be in the 12-team playoff? When your Irish started 0-2, I thought they'd be out of it, but they've fought their way back in.
Fought their way back, some impressive wins, putting up a bunch of points. I think if they finish this thing out undefeated the rest of the way, I think they'll find themselves in that thing.
Well, these two teams focused on trying to get to Detroit and play for a MAC championship. The winner of this game tonight goes to above a 50% chance of making the title game. That's Kenji Christian, transfer in from NCAA after starting his career at Virginia Tech. He offers some quickness in for Chip Trainum, who's been the bell cow for the Rockets out of the backfield.
Yeah, Christensen more the shifty guy, compared to Trainum's just downhill speed and power.
Also on a 3rd and short, Trainum back into the backfield like you would expect. And Trainum averaging more than 100 yards per game on the ground before an injury that cost him 2 weeks. Came back last week and only rushed for 36 yards.
Van der Ross.
Gleason on 3rd and 2. Right on the money. Fitted into a tight window to the freshman Ryder Treadway to move the chains.
How about this? Good protection there. He had a nice pocket to throw that ball. And again, the accurate throw by Tucker Gleason. Away from the defender, outside.
So into Miami territory with a fresh set of downs. And Gleason taking a shot on 1st down into the secondary, and it falls incomplete.
Well, it's pretty clear right now that Miami has made up their minds. They're not going to just sit there and let Tucker Gleason camp back there and just pick him apart. They're going to bring some pressure on him, try to make him uncomfortable. That's the 2nd time on a deep ball they've affected his throw. It's been working. And tell you what, Adam Trick they've got to find a way to block Adam Trick, number 20, because he has been in Tucker Gleason's grill all night.
2nd and 10, Gleason, quarterback design run. How about that? The extra yardage, Tucker Gleason lowering the shoulder, powering through Eli Blakey.
And Jason Candle told us this week, Tucker Gleason likes to get hit. He just kind of makes him feel like he's in the game, and he lowers his shoulder a little bit over Eli Blakey. And that kind of gets him in the football playing mood here.
Yeah, the extra yardage, laying the lumber there, results in a Toledo first down. Jason Candle, the head coach, loves that. You just said it, Rocky. He mentioned that Gleason, once he gets that first hit, he's ready to go. So 6'3", 245. It's not just the defensive players that can apply the hit. Gleason sets his feet, tipped ball, and it's intercepted. Eli Blakey, who Gleason ran over on the previous play. This time the safety gets revenge.
The ruling on the field is an interception. 1st and 10, Miami.
Tipped off the hands of the tight end Peterson, and Blakey in perfect position. And Toledo's got 2 drives. They've both resulted in interceptions.
And this is one of the few errant throws we've seen from Tucker Gleason. And you can throw that ball high and let Peterson go up and get it, but it can't be up high and away from him where he's got to twist his body around and tips off his hands, and there's Eli Blakey. So Miami's put together, Jay, 2 impressive drives. They've gotten down, in that kind of green zone, and now 2 turnovers.
Well, what did we say? Toledo 5-0 at home, 0-4 on the road. It's been mistakes on the road, and then that's kind of it. They've been playing far better on the offensive end, but 2 drives, 2 interceptions, both in Miami territory, 1 in the end zone, 1 in the red zone. And now can the Red Hawks try and spark their offense? Jordan Brunson the carry, trying to push that pile. Gained 4. That is Chuck Martin football, Miami head coach. Bend, don't break. And Toledo's driving it on them, and then they get the critical interceptions. Now what can they do to get this offense going?
Well, I think they got to just get Henry Hessen some easy throws, get him in the flow of this game a little bit, some perimeter screens, just get him some confidence here, making just his 2nd start of the season. He's 0 for 3 here on the night.
Yeah, yet to complete a pass, and we've only got a minute left in this opening quarter. Back to Brunson. Running hard, but short of that first down marker.
Yeah, I mean, obviously a run game helps out a guy like Hessen, but I always think quarterback, not a lot of experience, especially in this situation. Get him some easy throws. Get him some bubble screens, just something where he can complete a pass or 2 and try to get in some rhythm.
3rd and 2 for Chuck Martin in this Red Hawks offense.
Now you got Cam Perry isolated down the bottom of your screen. There he is right there. That's the #1 go-to guy.
3rd and 2. Hessen flipped it to the tight end, Brian Shane, and it falls incomplete. Now those 2 roommates and both 5th-year seniors for Miami and just couldn't connect.
And I think they had what they wanted. They had an RPO. It gave them the choice. Hessen can either run that thing, but if the safety comes up on him like McNeil Warren did, you just dump it off to your tight end, but it's just an errant throw, and that's what Chuck Martin says. He said, look, just tuck that thing and run.
Well, 3 offensive possessions for Miami, and they have all resulted in Pierce Stainton punts. And Bryson Hammer, again, well defended by Miami, and a flag flies. Two seconds remaining in this opening quarter. Let's get the penalty.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Return team, number 27. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down, Toledo.
So this will at least flip the field a little bit for Miami, who feels like they've been on their back heels since kickoff. Toledo, even though this game is 0-0, they've shown they can move the ball. They've had 2 interceptions in this first quarter. One was in the end zone, one was in the red zone.
And they've moved the ball both through the pass and through the run. So that's there. It's just been those critical mistakes, again, inside the 30 twice in a row with the interceptions. I really like the way Chip Trainum is running the ball. He looks like he has some good bursts tonight. I'd keep riding him.
The worst field position to start this drive. They've averaged it at the 35-yard line. This one from their own 20. Gleason rolls right. Decides to just take off. That's a first down. Tucker Gleason showing his running ability to finish this first quarter. The Rockets, they've moved the ball. They got nothing to show for it on the road. 2 teams on a Wednesday in mid-November trying to battle it out for who's going to be in the driver's seat to make a trip to Detroit and play for a championship. Start of the second quarter, ESPN College Football Primetime presented by Ram Trucks. Rocky Boyman, Jay Alter with you. Scoreless after one. Toledo's looking for their first road win of the season. And it's not just Toledo who's struggling on the road this season, the entire conference.
I think some of it has to do with the midweek games, right? It's difficult enough to play on the road, but then you play on a Tuesday, Wednesday, just adds a little more difficulty.
There's Chip Trainum. He's been terrific out of the backfield. And what a journey he's had through college football. Started at Arizona State, then Ohio State, Kentucky, and now at Toledo. And the one thing the Rockets did well in that first quarter is they moved the ball well, but got nothing to show for it. 2 costly interceptions. You can't throw an interception when you give it to Chip Trainum. Another gain of 10. He's been real good out of the backfield.
That's what I was saying earlier, Jay. He just looks like he's got a different gear tonight. It looked like he did early on in the season. As I mentioned, he had the 2 games he missed because of injury. Was back last week, shaking some rust off, but he is a legitimate threat, and they're looking to ride him here tonight.
Into Miami territory after the gain of 10. Trainum's got 30 on the night. Quick hitter into the flat. That's Junior Vandeross. He's got plenty of speed. There's a flag that flies in, and he stepped out of bounds or else he was gone. Gain of 12 is where they marked Vandeross out. The flag might bring it back.
Holding. Offense. Number 12. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
And there, yeah, you see it just earlier on your screen there. It was Bryson Hammer, the wide receiver. As that nickel player was coming up, he just held him. Gonna negate a nice gain on a great play to the perimeter.
Yeah, so instead of a first down for Toledo inside the Miami 40, they're backed up to their own 44-yard line.
It's been, I mean, Miami has not really stopped Toledo tonight. It's been a lot of self-inflicted mistakes.
They try and go right back to Trainum, and he is blown up in the backfield. Kuwatch got there first, the Cincinnati native.
Yeah, Kuwatch along with Corbin Hondrew, just 2 stud linebackers from Miami there.
Feels like Chuck Martin's always got a couple of stud linebackers ready to roll.
Yeah, Kuwatch is a guy, he's really taking his game to the next level here this season.
2nd and 17. Gleason in trouble. Had to get rid of it. Pressure was coming again.
And I'll tell you what, they better, as I've said about 3 times now, they better find a way to block Adam Trigg. Here he comes right up through the middle again. It was actually looked like a hold. But number 20 is a game wrecker. And he'll line up on both sides of the field here. He'll try to find a matchup he likes. This time there, now to the bottom of your screen. Well, better have a plan for him.
You know Trick's got his ears pinned back on a 3rd and 17. Shoots into the backfield. Trainum runs out of it. That's well short of the 17 yards Toledo needed. And the Rockets forced to punt it away.
As I said earlier, self-inflicted mistakes. He had the 2 interceptions they threw earlier, and then the big penalty there, and just a couple of steps forward, 1 step back.
The 3rd straight drive where Toledo is moving the ball well and just it stalls out at midfield. They had an interception in the end zone, in the red zone, and now Emilio Duran trying to pin Miami deep inside their own territory. Billups Williams calls for the fair catch, and that's where Miami will take over.
Timeout on the field.
Beautiful night for football, and how about the Northern Lights coming to Oxford, Ohio? Check that out. Scoreless. Saturday night from Madison Square Garden. You don't want to miss UFC 322, highlighted by 2 title fights. The main card, 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific, on pay-per-view. Buy it at ESPNplus.com/PPV. Rocky Boyman, Jay Alter with you. We got a midweek MACtion title fight between 2 perennial powers, Toledo and Miami. And the Redhawks have the ball here. Feels like they are in a title fight, and they're just feeling their way through the first couple of rounds. They've hung in there. Toledo's moved the ball a lot better, but it's still scoreless, and that's all that matters.
I just don't understand that. Get Hesson an easy throw. You give him a deep out route that's way on the other side of the field. Or not a deep, but a shallow out route. Find a little something over the middle, pop past the outside, get him comfortable. He's now 0 for 5.
You've been screaming for the backup quarterback to get something quicker, easy.
Yeah.
Where are you looking?
You look out to the outside. Again, throw something to the perimeter, 1 yard, a little bubble screen, something like that. Just get the ball in the hands of a playmaker. Get your quarterback comfortable in this game.
Instead, it's 3rd and 8, and that's where Miami's lived so far this first half, is 3rd and long. There's Vince Karras, Toledo defensive coordinator, making life hard for the Miami offense and their backup quarterback, Henry Hesson. Just 1 for 4 on 3rd down tonight. Toledo sends 4. Hesson throws, and it's caught. First completion of the night, and it's Cam Perry who hauls it in, and there's a flag that comes in after the catch.
A beautiful throw to Perry on the corner route. Just fit that thing in between the safety and the cornerback.
Personal foul, targeting, defense, number 4. That play is under further review.
So they have called Avery Smith for targeting.
Yeah, we'll get a look at it here, but that's a huge blow if they have to be without Avery Smith, one of their best cover guys. You get a little corner route over top of the corner, under the safety, and he certainly had the thrust. Let's see if he gets him in the. Yeah, it looks like he's got a thrusting motion, and it's forcible contact to the head or neck area of Perry. I mean, yeah, I think that one's going to stand. You know, he's making that catch as a defenseless player.
It was called targeting on the field, and this one looks like an easy one to confirm.
Yeah, certainly. And this is tough. I don't think Avery Smith is trying to go for it. He's trying to knock that ball out, but it's a bang play, and unfortunately that's something that's going to be called.
After review, there is no foul for targeting.
Wow. Huh. And I'm shocked for no other reason than it was called targeting on the field and then reversed.
And it looked like forcible contact to the head or neck area. You get the launch. I mean,
you get the launch. Yeah. I think Chuck Martin's as confused as we are.
So Avery Smith, the beneficiary of that being ruled no targeting. Toledo gets to keep their best cover corner in the game.
Yeah, best cover corner, one of the best cover corners in the whole MAC.
So a break for Toledo, but Miami still moves the chains on a gain of 20. First completion of the night for the backup quarterback, Henry Hesson. Flea flicker, Hesson wrapped up, down he goes. Anthony Dunn Jr., the senior linebacker, was not fooled.
And it was great protection except for Anthony Dunn. He just beats the left tackle Eric Smith with speed. And they tried the flea flicker. It was blocked up well everywhere except on that left side. Almost got that ball loose, but what a great speed rush by Anthony Dunn. Ran right past Eric Smith, who is a really good left tackle for Miami.
Loss of 6 on the sack. So Miami backed up. Hessen in trouble again, throws off his back foot. And nobody home.
The second time in a row, here's some pressure. This time it's coming right up the middle. Little twist done here. Martez Pointer.
There's no foul for intentional grounding. The quarterback was outside the tackle box, and the ball crossed the line of scrimmage.
There was a flag down, and might have just got that back to the line of scrimmage. Very close to intentional grounding there. You know, both of these defenses, and this is what we talked about before kickoff, the two reasons these teams are so good year in and year out in the MAC is because of the backbone of their defense, and they've sent pressure all night long, and it's paid off.
In some of those twist stunts and some of the blitzing the quarterback, you couldn't do against Daquan Finn because he'd find a way to squirt out and get yardage, but has some more of a statue back there.
Although moving here, Hessen needing 15. He's going to be right near it. They mark him a yard short, needed 15, only got 14, but did show some ability there to turn nothing into something. And it looks like Miami's keeping their offense on the field here for a 4th and 1. Do you like the decision?
I do. I think for Miami, they know they're kind of behind it with a backup quarterback in. You got 4th and 1 here. It's a risk, but I think it's worth taking.
9 of 12 on the season on 4th down, but they're 0 for 1 tonight.
Look at Toledo's just stacking the box here.
Jordan Brunson needs a yard, runs into a white wall. Did he get there? And they say no. Turnover on downs. Martez Pointer and Eshawn Carter got there.
Brunson thinks he got it, but that's not going to be the case.
Ruling on the field, the ball carrier was short of the line to gain for a turnover on downs. 1st and 10, Toledo. Timeout on the field.
Pointer and Carter, the two veterans on the defensive line, standing tall. Turnover on downs as the defense continues to be the story of this one. Miami meet Michael Hawkins. There he is in the helmet, known as the ultimate Red Hawk super fan, and he'll let you know it. He usually brings a couple of signs to the game. One says #1 Miami fan. There it is. And he might be right. This guy is at every Red Hawks game, home and away. Told us he has driven 60,000 miles over the years following Miami. There's the car. That's the car that gets him to those road games. And he's always got some signs. Hey, he's doing our job for us. Sports Center is next on the Deuce. Thank you, Michael. And he's been a Miami fan for as long as he can remember. His dad moved the family to Oxford in 1965. He was just 7 years old as Gleason throws it incomplete. His next door neighbor, Miami football's head coach at the time, you might have heard of him, Bo Schembechler.
How about that?
And he said he was hooked. His dad would usher at the football games on Saturday, and from 7 years old, Michael would always be showing up for his beloved Red Hawks. Yeah, he is somebody that just embodies the spirit and fandom that makes college football so special.
I mean, everything down to the helmet that he makes and he paints and then made signs with the cutout letters. It's fantastic.
Broken tackle, some room to run. First down and more for Kenji Christian. And now Toledo in business in Miami territory.
It's up to Toledo now as they're moving the ball yet again now. You know, we're inside the 30-yard line. No self-inflicted mistakes.
They have thrown 2 interceptions in this first half inside the 30.
Last drive they had the penalty that brought them back.
Gleason slings it over the middle. It's incomplete. Looking for Vander Ross, who's usually the reliable top target.
Yeah, I mean, good idea looking to your #1 target in Vander Ross. But again, for Toledo, they got to block number 20, Adam Trick. He's up at the top of the screen there.
Second and 10. They go back to Kenji Christian, breaks another tackle. Who sets up a 3rd and manageable after the gain of 7.
Again, as we've seen this in an area of the field where Tucker Gleason, if pressured, he likes to be able to tuck and run down this part of the field.
Third and 3. Trainum has the first down, barreling into the red zone. Tough running from Trainum. Gain of 6.
I mean, he is 5'11", about 230 pounds, and nice patience there. Just kind of let the blocks develop, and as soon as he saw some daylight, he hit that thing before Eli Blakely could bring him to the ground.
That is a big first down pickup. They go right back to Trainum, this time drilled and dropped. Great tackle. Malcolm McCain, the redshirt sophomore linebacker.
And Malcolm McCain came shooting up like a thunderbolt here. Boom. Tacking the near hip. Going low. That's textbook linebacker play right there.
Yeah, it looked like Rocky Boyman out there.
Something like that.
Now, this is the danger area for Toledo, where they've gotten it into this position but failed to capitalize. Can they find the end zone this time? 2nd and 11. Keep it on the ground. Train him. Upended again. Jackson Kuwach, the transfer from Ohio State, another tackle for loss.
And Kuwach is a guy, you know, in his career, he's been hurt a lot, but just been healthier this year and really turned it on. Come on, and Toledo is just knocking on the door 3-4 times tonight, and just this area of the field can't seem to punch it in.
Yeah, 2 interceptions, a costly penalty, and now another drive in jeopardy of stalling out in the red zone. 3rd and 13. Gleason gets rid of it quickly, finds Vander Ross. Might have fell forward for the first down, and he did. just kept his balance enough. Gain of 15, and it'll be 1st and goal after a huge pickup on 3rd and 13.
When in doubt, throw to your best player, and now Toledo going to try to capitalize on this momentum, going tempo here.
Timeout taken right before Gleason could
Prior
snap
to the
it.
snap, charge timeout, Miami. Their second of the half. It'll be a 30-second timeout.
And Junior Vandeross, I mean, look at the quickness, foot speed, just good job creating separation, then just breaking that tackle in there by Silas Walters. Was able to get the first down, excuse me. Vandeross, you know, he's an upperclassman, senior, just a great savvy football player.
Well, if you're just tuning in and you see 0-0, this has not really been an even game. You know, Toledo is dominated, but they've got nothing to show for it. This feels like the moment where Toledo has to capitalize.
And now with 1st and goal, I expect to see a lot of Chip Trainum, even Tucker Gleason with a quarterback run down here, using his size. And there's a guy that's been tough all night for Miami, Adam Trick. I mean, just pressuring the quarterback all night. Now he's got to be able to help stop that run.
Gleason goes under center. He's got Trainum behind him. Handoff, Trainum running left, has a step, touchdown, Toledo! Chip Trainum opens the scoring and cashes in on a 9-play drive. And the Rockets finally find the end zone.
And look at the unbalanced line. I mean, look at all these bodies right there on that side, and Chip Trainum is just going to patiently run behind them. They pull around the right guard, Ethan Spaeth, and he uses speed to the end zone.
After 2 costly turnovers and a penalty, Toledo finally capitalizes, and they find themselves in front 7-0.
Yeah, finally no self-inflicted mistakes. Junior Vandeross picks up the first down, and then the offensive line, Chip Trainum punches it in, 7-0 Toledo.
First touchdown of this game comes with 6 minutes to go in the second quarter. It belongs to Toledo. The Rockets, they had been moving the ball this entire first half, but finally they cash in.
Yeah, they did. And I've been saying it all night, but Chip Trayanum just looks different than he did last week, and again missed some time with the injury. But I think Jason Cano was saying, hey, our running back's got a little spark to him. If we can block a little bit better for him and not commit some penalties, we can ride him all the way in. They did right there on that drive.
Robert Hammond kicks things away after Toledo finds the end zone. Our time to remind you, you can kick off your Week 11 NFL Sunday, 10 a.m. Eastern with the Countdown Crew. They'll tell you everything you need to know, taking you right up to kickoff on ESPN and the all-new ESPN app. And then our Week 11 Monday Night Football matchup, it's the Cowboys and the Raiders. You can watch it on ABC, ESPN, or on ESPN2 with Peyton and Eli. Dak Prescott looking to keep things going. The wins haven't gone there for him, but he's putting up big numbers.
Everett keeps trying to throw away Dak Prescott. He just keeps answering the bell and putting up some nice numbers.
Well, Miami could use some quarterback production on this drive. Their backup, Henry Hessen, has struggled in place of DeQuan Finn tonight. Throwing on first down. That's more like it. That's just his second completed pass of the night, and maybe that can inject some life into this offense.
And both of them have been on this exact area of the field, right about middle, off to the left side there. Both his completions.
Cole Weaver, a gain of 17, and for an offense that has only completed 2 passes tonight, that is a welcome sight. Going against a Toledo defense that's second in the country in yards allowed, and you're seeing why. No room to run for Keith Reynolds. Braden Alls swallowed him up.
And Emmanuel McNeil Warren, the safety there, number 7, future NFL guy. That's the thing. I mean, they play a quarter system. They got safeties there. They're basically playing almost 9 guys in the box. So it is just hard to run on these guys. You get linebackers coming downhill. You get safeties coming downhill.
Yeah, you had Alls and McNeil Warren right at the line of scrimmage there. 2 safeties, and it resulted in a loss of 2.
And that's why you got to loosen this defense up through the pass game. Got to hit the perimeter, kind of loosen them up a little bit before you start trying to pound the run away at them.
Well, there's another completed pass. Cam Perry grabs that one. Gained 9, so sets up a 3rd and short for Miami.
And the pass game, just keep finding ways to get Cam Perry open. We talked about him, 26.3 yards per completion, number 1 in the country. He's a big play guy. Just get him the ball a lot.
Movement pre-snap. It was the left tackle who moved.
False start. Offense, number 51. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
And now it's Miami with a self-inflicted mistake after they had a pretty decent drive going here and making it all the tougher on themselves.
Yeah, 3rd and 3 becomes 3rd and 8. That changes your playbook. Hessen pump fakes, now throws it to the tight end Brian Shane, and he's got the first down. He just carried Andre Fuller, got 10, and it keeps the drive alive.
And Fuller played that thing pretty well. He was in zone coverage, but you're right, Brian Shane just uses his power, his physicality, and pulls Fuller ahead and gets the first down.
Big drive right before halftime. A little more than 3 minutes left in it. Miami 1 timeout into Toledo territory on a 1st and 10. Hessen looking for it all. It's intercepted. Nasir Bowers on the return. Still on his feet. A couple of flags that have Flown in on the return, but Bowers in perfect position to catch that ball off the ricochet. There's 3 flags down, but all of them came after the interception. And Bowers is pumped up after the pick. Just as Miami was putting together what would have been their most impressive drive of the half, Hessen tries to go deep. Ball deflects right into the hands of Bowers.
And I think it was Cam Perry was trying to go to Avery Smith. Again, we've talked about one of the best cover corners in the MAC. Blanket coverage. He's able to pop that ball loose, and Bowers picks it up.
There are 2 fouls on the play, 1 on each team. During the return, illegal low block, Miami, number 12. That penalty is declined. During the return, personal foul, illegal blindside block, Toledo, number 93. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced from the spot of the foul. It'll be Toledo's ball, 1st and 10.
So Bowers had a 46-yard return. That gets brought back because of the penalty, but this will still be pretty good field position for Toledo.
It was, and it was a good throw by Hessen. It was just great coverage by Avery Smith, who popped that ball in the air and let Bowers get it. And this is why you're running the ball, Jay. I know defenses and defensive coordinators are always run the ball, run the ball. This is why, because good things happen when you run the ball. A ball pops up in the air, and you pick it, you take it back the other way.
Well, Jason Candle, the Toledo head coach, is livid. And I'm kind of with them because they've marked him all the way back at the 27-yard line. They say the penalty was committed at the 42. It looked like it came in after Bowers had crossed midfield. So Toledo's got the ball after the interception, but the field position a long way to go before halftime. Gleason on the run, throws low, and that is incomplete. Treadway couldn't pull it in. So you're Toledo, you have the 2-minute timeout, and you have all 3 timeouts at your disposal. Plus you got a quarterback in Tucker Gleason who you trust. 2 interceptions tonight, uncharacteristic, but other than that, he's proven to be very accurate throughout the season.
Yeah, and his experience, again, is still super valuable in these big games. A couple errant throws, one throwing the ball, didn't throw it out of the back of the end zone, it gets picked.
Well, they go to train him in Miami, read it the whole way. Well defended by the Redhawks. Silas Walters, the nickel. Loss of 1.
And Silas Walter, he's missed the last 2 games. They were hopeful he was going to play, but, you know, you can see he's one of those safeties, Jay, that likes to play down in the box, even though he's not a huge guy or anything, but that's a couple plays he's made the line of scrimmage.
Toledo has been money on 3rd down tonight, 5 of 7. Can they convert this one on a 3rd and 11? And Miami jumped. Well, Miami's pointing fingers at Toledo, but there were 3 Redhawks that moved. The officials trying to sort this out. It's always the other line's fault.
Delay of game, defense, abrupt movement simulating the start of the play. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down. This is the
Toledo
2-minute
decides to
timeout.
Run it down to the 2-minute timeout after the penalty. So a 3rd and 6 for Toledo, up a touchdown when we come back.
Good job. No.
Thanks, Zubin. Looking forward to that. Gleason on the run on a 3rd and 6. Completes the pass. There's a flag down in the secondary and the backfield. Gain of 19 as it stands for Gleason. But will it count?
Holding. Offense. Number 72. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. 3rd down.
And I think this is a result of Gleason getting out of the pocket. Sometimes the linemen, they don't know where the quarterback is, and yeah, you can. I mean, it's clear as day right there. He's outside the framework of the body, and it's way out where the officials can see it.
So a 3rd and 16 instead of a 1st down for Toledo. They've got all 3 timeouts. Pressure comes again. Gleason dumps it off to Vanderross. He's got a lot of work to do, and he's wrestled out of bounds. So Miami will get the ball back here ahead of halftime.
And Miami has 1 timeout left. That clock's still ticking away.
Yeah, would you have used it there?
I think I would have saved it here. But Toledo is certainly going to take their time here.
And Toledo will receive the ball to start the second half. Emilio Duran out to punt it away. Lionel Billups-Williams waits for it, and you're right, Rocky. Jason Candle ran it right down to 1 and then used his first timeout.
Timeout. Timeout Toledo. Their first charge timeout of the half. It'll be a 30-second timeout.
I thought maybe you would save all 3, because then if Miami has an incomplete pass and then can't get the first down, you save some of those timeouts to stop the clock and get the ball back.
I thought Toledo would just take it all the way down to about 3 seconds and then punt it away instead of going all the way down and taking the timeout. I don't really know what you get there. Yeah, I would keep that, because Miami's offense hasn't been able to do much at all tonight. Good chance you can get that ball back with those 3 timeouts.
This game has felt very lopsided in the first half, and yet if you're Chuck Martin, you're about to get the ball back with a chance to tie this game going into halftime.
Yeah, you're saying to yourself, we've made some mistakes. We're playing with our backup quarterback, and we got one of the best teams in the MAC. We're just down 7 points.
They went after that punt. Duran got it back cleanly and very well punted. Billups-Williams on the return past the 30. So Henry Hessen has 1 timeout and 51 seconds to try and put some points on the board in this first half. Backup quarterback in place of Daquan Finn, who is a late surprise scratch. A former MAC MVP for Toledo was expected to face his former team. Instead, it's Hessen, and he started slow, but he's improved.
Yeah, you can see he's kind of settled in a little bit, and it's been those intermediate throws to the sideline, in particular the left sideline, that he's been having the most success with. If I'm Hessen, I'm going down, going to my best player. I'm finding Cam Perry. I think it's him at the bottom of the screen.
Hessen looks that way, in trouble, escapes right. Nobody open, and Hessen just has to take it out of bounds for a loss.
I don't know why you just don't throw that ball away instead of taking the 1-yard loss there. The 2-yard loss. Toledo decides to bring a little bit of pressure. Just throw that ball out of bounds instead of taking a 2-yard loss.
Second and 12. Hessen throws. That's way over the head of the tight end, Cole Weaver. A 3rd and 12, and here's the thing: Toledo still got the 2 timeouts, so if Miami can't convert here, the Rockets are going to get the ball back.
I was just going to say, they got the 2 right now. That they could If it's an incomplete pass, or even if it's completed short of the sticks, you could use that thing.
Miami hasn't been scoreless in a first half in 4 years.
That's amazing.
That's how good this Toledo defense has been. And right on cue, the Rockets defensive line delivers again. Eshawn Carter and Malachi Davis combined for the sack. Toledo uses a timeout.
Timeout, Toledo. Their second charge timeout of the half. It'll be a 30-second timeout. Game clock operator, please reset the game clock to 34 seconds.
Okay,
34 seconds, please.
I thought,
thank you.
Yeah, they got to put some time back on that clock. Because as soon as he was sacked, they're screaming timeout and going to get the ball back here.
So Toledo will get the ball back, and they still have a timeout. Certainly can work your way into field goal range to try and make this a 2-score game headed into halftime. Plus, Toledo gets the ball to start the second half.
And you got two receivers that can make up some ground quick. Junior Vandeross, who we've talked about. Also Trayvon Rudolph, been a big play guy for Toledo this season. Number 9.
Pierce Stainton, the Miami punter. You want to make life difficult for Toledo here and try and pin Bryson Hammer back as much as you can. Hammer fields it at the 34. Picks up a couple of blocks. Here's Hammer past the 50. A flag flies. Hammer still on his feet inside the 20. Toledo's had a couple of costly penalties in this first half. This might be another on an incredible return of 54 yards by Hammer. I mean, if this stands, Toledo's in the red zone with a timeout and 18 seconds to work with.
During the return, sideline interference. Assistant coach, Miami. Penalties half the distance to the goal.
Wow.
First down, Toledo.
How about that? So Toledo's going to have it first and goal after the 54-yard return and then the sideline interference.
Yeah, as I was looking out there, I couldn't see any holding call where it would be for. And there, I mean, it's that, whoever that coach is for Miami right there gets in the way of the official going down the sideline. Yeah, costly penalty for Miami. That ball is now inside the 15-yard line.
What a moment for Toledo here. Right before halftime, they get it at their own Miami's 7-yard line for a first and goal. Gleason surveys, throws to the end zone. It's caught. Touchdown Toledo. Jacob Peterson. All set up by the punt return by Bryson Hammer. Gleason finds Peterson on the first play, and the Rockets go up 13.
How quickly things can change, right? Miami's driving, then some penalties, they get stopped, big kick return. And then always a good idea, Jay, down this area of the field, find your big tight end, throw it up high, let him go get it. I mean, it just super well executed by Toledo here this last minute of this quarter.
An incredible swing of momentum as the Rockets go up 2 touchdowns 13 seconds before halftime, and they get the ball coming out.
I mean, just 2 minutes ago, Jay, we're talking about how, wow, if you're Miami, this is great. You haven't played well. You got your backup quarterback, but you're just going to go into halftime down 7 points. But boom, 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 that thing changes quickly. Offensively, couldn't get anything going. Then you give up the big return. How many times we talk about how big special teams is in these midweek MAC games? You know, even defense, even offense, whoever can make some big plays in the special teams game, it's huge.
No, the special team showed up there. 54-yard return sets up an easy throw and catch for the touchdown.
And if you remember last week, Jay, against NIU, Toledo opens up the game with a kick return for a touchdown. big boost by the special teams, and here, arguably one of the biggest plays of that half, of this half.
Well, Toledo's head coach Jason Candle told us, look, if you're a special teams player, you might have 7 plays in a game.
Yeah.
But those are your 7 moments to impact the game in a positive way. They certainly got that there. Squib kick, and fielded at the 30. And this will at least set up a one play, and if you can get 20 or so yards, you got one of the best kickers in the country in Dom Jobin.
Yeah, I mean, Dom Jobin can boot it.
Yeah, Chuck Martin said, he's also got Kellen McLaughlin, and both of those guys he would trust from 60. So if you can, and you got the one timeout, so if you can use 6-7 seconds here to give yourself a chance.
Well, and that's the key part is you have the one timeout, so you could still now throw something in the middle of the field. You got Cam Perry. He's the 3rd receiver down from the top of the screen in that trips formation.
Whatever you do, you've got to do it quickly. Hessen with 5 seconds now. Hessen running out of time, has to get rid of it. Deep ball, and that finishes this first half. So Toledo holds Miami scoreless, and they tack on a touchdown 13 seconds before break. So the Rockets, a 2-touchdown lead on the road, looking for their first road win of the season. Let's get you into the studio. Trevor Matic and Zubin Mehenti. We apologize for any technical difficulties with our audio. We are all set for this second half. You're watching ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by Ram Trucks. Rocky Boyman, Jay Alter with you. 2-touchdown lead for Toledo. And the Rockets ready to receive. They scored with 13 seconds ahead of halftime. This is Trayvon Rudolph on the return. There's a flag down as Rudolph goes out of bounds just past the 20. And now a second flag comes in. Toledo with all the momentum after they struggled in the first quarter to punch it in, had 2 costly interceptions. They got it done in the second quarter, outscoring Miami 14-0. Let's see where they will start the opening drive of the second half. Long conversation on this kickoff. Feels like we've had a flag on every special teams play so far tonight.
I think Toledo feels the same way. At times they've been their own worst enemy. Talked about the interceptions, also some penalties on third down that have, just set them back, and they finally were able to capitalize right at the end of that first half. Got the nice kick return, and they were able to punch it in with a pass to Jacob Peterson, the tight end. But now not starting off the third quarter the way they want.
Hey, this is a lengthy discussion.
I mean, they got to do something.
Candles wondering what's going on.
They got to do something about this.
Looks like the officials are having some mic issues as well. We're not the only ones, Rock. Gosh, and I am just not as good a lip reader as I should be.
Well, there was 2 fouls on the play.
One against Toledo, one against Miami.
I think ultimately they're going to re-kick the ball. That's what I feel is going to happen. Let's start all this. Start this whole deal over. Okay, let's just redo it.
We lacked some vintage Maction moments in the first half. We just got a regular football game. Second half, bam! Maction is here. We'll do it again. So a re-kick from the 30-yard line.
Now that's the Maction thing too, right there. I mean, look at the club on the hand of the kicker. I mean, let's go.
That is Kellen McLaughlin out of Louisville, Kentucky. And you're right. On that right forearm, or left forearm, excuse me. And you played linebacker a couple games for the Titans with a club, but
luckily they didn't make me kick with it on.
You very rarely see that for a kicker. McLaughlin, plenty of leg, plants Rudolph at his own 5-yard line. Rudolph takes it past the 20.
Yeah, McLaughlin's fired up, using the power of that club to boot that thing.
Well, you don't want to hit a teammate with it. No. So first 2 drives of the game for Toledo resulted in interceptions and a costly penalty, which resulted in a punt, but they've scored touchdowns on 2 of the last 3 drives. I'd ask you what the difference has been, Rocky, but it seems obvious, just not having those costly self-inflicted.
Not shooting yourself in the foot. Yeah. That's what it's been. The penalties, the interceptions. Also, I think, toward the end of that half, they're really riding Chip Trainum pretty good, which I think is a good idea the rest of this game here.
Gleason finds Treadway, the freshman, on first down, gain of 9.
That's Treadway's second catch of the night here for the freshman.
Second and 1. Big hole opens up. Here's Trainum. Chip Trainum, biggest run of the night, all the way into Miami territory. Silas Walters with the touchdown-saving tackle, gain of 30.
Yeah, just zone run. He just finds the daylight. And again, you see the burst from Trainum, a big back. And not many times against this Miami defense are you going to be finding open run lanes. You're going to have to run over people, but that time he found the daylight and hit it. Big play, and that's what Jay, as we've been talking about, that's the thing they've been missing on the road. They get the big plays at home, haven't gotten the big plays on the road. Gotten a couple tonight, and there was another one.
Yeah, 5-0 at home, scoring 48 points per game on the road. They've been under 15 and they're 0-4, trying to flip that in a very difficult place to play. Miami, and this is a team that won 11 straight MAC regular season games until last week when they lost to Ohio. So it's not like you're going to Oxford thinking, okay, this is the one we'll get on the road. But they have played very strong in the first half and now trying to carry that momentum into the second.
Now, one thing they've not done well tonight is block the defensive end, Adam Trick. And there he is right there. He's had a ton of pressure on Tucker Gleason tonight. Here it is again. Look at this.
Right on cue, number 20 in hot pursuit. Trick forces a throwaway there by Gleason. You're right, Rocky. If everybody's playing as well as Adam Trick tonight, Miami would not be down by 2 touchdowns.
And Adam Trick is a guy, you see him on the right side of your screen, just an inside club move. I mean, he's got the speed, he's got the speed rush, he's got the inside club move. I mean, you hate to say it for Chuck Martin, but I mean, Power 4 schools are going to come begging to get Adam Trick on their roster next year.
Third and 11. Gleason sits in there, throws it right on the money, finds the freshman Ryder Treadway again. How good has Gleason been on third down tonight?
Easily his best throw of the night, though, Jay. I mean, look at this. Scans the field. He sees the dig route. Boom. Just pops out. Look, right between 4 black jerseys. Hitting the freshman Ryder Treadway. Excellent throw.
6 for 9 on third down, and you're right, that might be the best of the bunch, and the Rockets getting into their rhythm right now.
That's one, if you're Tucker Gleason, you can build on that one. Get some momentum from that throw.
Quick hitter. Out to the flat. That's Rudolph. Well, the entire first half for Miami has been bend, don't break. Now, can you carry that over to this third quarter? Because if you allow a touchdown here, Toledo really starts to separate. You go up 3 touchdowns. Miami's got a backup quarterback. It becomes
right. And I was going to say, if you're just joining us, Miami's with their backup quarterback DeQuan Finn not playing in this game.
Well, Gleason's got all day. What a clean pocket. Wide open in the end zone. It's Treadway again. 3 catches on that drive, including the touchdown. 24-yard strike, and the Rockets are starting to separate at the beginning of this second half.
And that time, a great pocket created for Tucker Gleason. And I don't think Adam Trick was on the field there, and they caught him. Caught Miami without one of their best players and got the protection, and Tucker Gleason put it on the money.
Nothing. Toledo making a statement on the road against the Redhawks with some action. welcome you back to ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by Ram Trucks. How about the Northern Lights coming to Oxford, Ohio?
And this is my backyard. I don't know if I've ever seen the Northern Lights look like that.
Northern Lights lighting up the sky like Toledo has lit up the scoreboard here on the road. The Rockets 21-0. This is a team that has struggled on the road this season. 5-0 at home, 0-4 on the road. They look like they're playing at the Glass Bowl tonight. Keith Reynolds on the return. And Miami just has lacked the spark offensively, and it's understandable. DeQuan Finn, who's a MAC Most Valuable Player in 2023, actually won a MAC title in 2022 with Toledo, then went to Baylor and now transferred back to the MAC. He's been having a terrific season for Chuck Martin, but an hour before kickoff, he was ruled out with an illness.
Yeah.
And, you look at the drive chart, and with your backup quarterback Henry Hessen, it just nothing going.
Yeah, it's a shame that Finn couldn't play in this game. I mean, talk about drama. Your former team, DeQuan Finn, one of the most electric players in the entire conference, unable to go tonight.
Their longest drive has been 31 yards against the Toledo defense that ranks #1 in the MAC in basically every category, and #2 in all of college football in total yards allowed per game with 232.
And the other thing Miami's been missing tonight is the big play. And now you find yourself down 21. It's going to take some big plays to get back into this thing. But we've talked about Toledo's defense and Vince Karras, I think one of the best in the business, and doing another incredible job tonight.
I mean, what would the recipe for a 3-touchdown comeback be when you're an offense that's struggling?
I think you got to get some throws, get some openings to Hessen there, and that's not going to do it.
It's an interception. Braden Alls read Hessen perfectly, and now on the return, still up, finally taken down at the 25-yard line. And it is all Toledo as Alls gets another takeaway.
Yeah, and Hessen's rolling out to his right, and he just does not see Alls at all. He's trying to hit that crossing route. But this secondary, Jay, we've talked a lot about them, but the thing that makes them great is, first of all, they're all super talented. Again, you got guys that are going to play on Sundays, but also their experience. They've played together for a while. Again, Avery Smith, Emmanuel McNeil Warren, Fuller, Alls. These guys have played a lot of football together. They know where they're going to be, complement each other well.
Short yardage for Toledo here, starting all the way at the Miami 25. So an opportunity to really put this game away with a short field, Rocky.
Yeah, about the only thing, as we discussed, Toledo's got to make sure they do is block Adam Trick on the defensive line, number 20. He's had a great game.
And there's Trick, the pride of Dayton, Ohio, went to Wayne High School.
He came into this game with 6.5 sacks, had 2 against Wisconsin. He has been a game wrecker, and he has been tonight.
Keep it on the ground, Kenji Christian. Not much room to run. When you're over on that near hash and you run left, not much a running back can do there.
Yeah, coaches like it, though. They like running formation into the boundary here because you can manipulate where the safety's going to be. But to your point, it doesn't give a lot of space for your back, a shifty guy like Kenji Christian, to make somebody miss.
Look at how good Gleason's been on 3rd down tonight. 7 of 8, 6 first downs. Can that continue here on a 3rd and 6? Miami sends pressure. Gleason off his back foot, completes the pass, but short of the sticks. Rudolph tackled immediately.
It was a great tackle by Silas Walters there. We're going to bring the field goal unit out. Miami did get some pressure there, but again, great open field tackle. They forced the kick.
Well, the Red Hawks defense has done everything they can tonight to try and limit Toledo. That time they're putting a short field and now hold him for a 36-yard field goal attempt. Dylan Cunanan hits it. Easy 36-yard make, and Toledo goes up 24-0.
Introducing Verts. Swipe for news and highlights. Now available on the ESPN app.
Well, head coach at Toledo, Jason Candle, over there on the iPad, has to be happy with his team's road performance tonight. This is the most points they've scored on the road this season. We're just midway through the third quarter. 24-0 lead. And what's crazy, Rocky, is it could have been even more. They had 2 red zone interceptions in that first quarter.
But as we discussed, the thing they haven't gotten on the road this year is the big plays. They average just under 4 big plays a game. Well, they've gotten a few tonight already just in that first half. It's really helped them get on that scoreboard, put up 24 points.
The storyline going into this game was the winner would kind of take over that, I would say, second place in the MAC behind Western Michigan, who had an impressive win last night against Ohio. Remember, they did away with divisions. It's just one big conference, which is the trend in college football. And I'll say this, you know, Miami put into a difficult spot having to start their backup quarterback, Henry Hessen. You see his struggles on the screen there, just 4 of 14, but you know, this is a Toledo team that lost 2 conference games early, and Jason Candle said, if we take care of business, if we run the table, we'll be in Detroit, and I think he's going to be right.
I think he's right. We said, Jay, you and I at the beginning of this game, this was arguably the biggest game in the entire conference all season. Whoever wins this thing is on the road to Detroit, and I think that's going to be the case.
A good ball by Hessen finds Perry for a Miami first down. That's more like it for a Red Hawks offense that has struggled tonight. That's what we're talking about. With a win tonight, Toledo goes to 53%, up over 50%, and that would be second behind Western Michigan.
And then for Miami, certainly going to be tough if this score holds true here. Still got a lot of football to play.
This feels like the drive for Miami, now or never.
It does.
Only a gain of 1 there out of the backfield for the wide receiver Keith Reynolds.
The biggest thing Miami has going for them is, they had that win over Western Michigan, who's really turned it on. It's at the top of the conference right now. Certainly need a win tonight.
They've got a mountain to climb as we tick under 7:30 to play in this third quarter. 2nd and 9 for a Miami team that is scoreless on the evening. Deshaunte Jones been very quiet tonight. Ball came out. And they're saying that
the ruling on the field,
down.
Runners forward progress was stopped. 3rd down.
That was Jones' first carry of the night. There's the forward progress.
Yeah, man, Warren rips that thing out just after they called the stop forward progress.
Third and 8. Hessen slings it over the middle. That's Brian Shane who makes the catch, but he's 1 yard shy of the first down. So a 4th and 1, and you've got to go here, right?
You got to go for it, yeah. I mean, what an incredible play by McNeil Warren there. That's why he's going to be playing on. Look, in middle of the field, just boom, shot out of a cannon, drops a big tight end. It goes about 240 right there short of the sticks.
His head coach Jason Candle telling us McNeil Warren will be one of the first 50 picks in the NFL draft this spring. 4th and 1.
Toledo loading that box.
McNeil Warren, there he is again, trying to get the stuff, and Jones just pushing that pile enough. How about the extra effort by Deshaunte Jones? Needed a yard and got it to keep the drive alive.
Yeah, McNeil Warren came off that right side of that offense, and what a great job. The late block by Braylon Isom stopped McNeil Warren from being able to get in there and bring the ball carrier to the ground. And like you said, Jay, the extra effort picked up the first.
And that's more like it on 4th down. Miami 9 of 12 on 4th down coming into tonight. Before that, they were 0 for 2. That's the brand of football you're used to seeing under Chuck Martin. Getting the hard yards in the run game. Jordan Brunson picks up another 3.
The thing about this, though, Jay, is you feel like Toledo is perfectly okay with Miami just running the ball and giving them 3 yards, 4 yards here and taking up time. What Toledo, their conversation going on in that huddle is, guys, no big plays, nothing over our head here. Rally the ball, tackle as good as we have all season.
Hessen hands it off again. Brunson churning those legs. Jordan Brunson. He's not giving up on the carry. Turns that into a gain of 6 on what should have been a gain of 1.
Look at Brunson, his leg. You know, they always tell his running backs, don't stop your leg drive. Brunson keeping those knees churning.
And the left guard, Greg Smith Jr., was pushing him from behind. So a 3rd and 1. I'll give Miami a ton of credit. Down 24-0. They are battling on this drive. They know that they need points here to stay in this game. Toledo loads the box again. Hessen pulls it out off his back foot, throws, and it's nearly picked.
Wow.
Braden Alls almost had his second interception of the night. Tried to squeeze it into Chase Becker, and Alls nearly came up with his football.
But what an exceptional job by Toledo's defense. And Miami was trying to catch Toledo sleeping here. They're going to pack everyone, but we're going to run the ball, but they released the tight end, Brian Shane, down the right side of the field. And I think that was, it was Chase Becker down the left side, but Toledo was aware. They covered it. Great job.
So here we go again, 4th and 1. Miami picked up their first 4th down conversion of the night a few plays ago. They get it again. Needed one, got one, and it keeps the drive alive.
And Vince Karras is saying, how come our guy ended up with the football, but he didn't call it that way? that's what he.
Yeah.
He was like, wait a minute.
Rolled down, though, and 1st and 10 for Chuck Martin's offense. Hessen looking to throw it on 1st down. Lobs it up. It's caught. Cam Perry, as Miami marches into the red zone for the first time tonight.
And this is one of the poorer plays that you'll see out of Avery Smith. He's usually, again, a great corner, but look, he takes his eyes off the ball. Here's a good look. You see he just doesn't really see that ball, doesn't see that it's underthrown, and then Perry's going to come back to it.
Yeah, he was watching Perry, not the ball.
Right. Yeah, and he was thinking Perry was going to keep running down the sideline, but you got to have a good relationship, seeing the receiver out of your peripheral, but also tracking that ball.
Now, we said this is the now or never drive for Miami. Can they punch it in for a touchdown? Hessen scrambling, hit as he got rid of it and throws it out the back of the end zone.
Hessen trying to buy time. Kavion Sherman, linebacker, he had a fantastic game last week. He's #1 in tackles on the team, #1 in TFL, showing you why right there.
It's been a long drive for Miami, and they desperately need it to result in points. 12th play upcoming. 2nd and goal. Hessen rolling right. Just throws it away.
Yeah, and I didn't think he felt him until the last minute, but Anthony Dunn was hot on his heels. He had to throw that ball away. See Anthony Dunn come up from the top of the screen, tracking Hessen down. At the last second, he feels him and throws that ball away.
Just don't know, Rocky, why Miami abandoned the run. That's what got them here.
It's got them down here, yeah. And this is the area of the field where you got to be able to run, because Toledo already likes to pack it in, but now with being a more condensed field, they're just by nature packed in there. Got to find a way to run that ball.
3rd and goal. Hessen throws to the end zone, and it goes off the hands of Braylon Isom. 4th and goal.
Good protection. A little bit out of the reach. Better throw, might have had it. And I think Miami right now is just psychologically they're saying, look, we got to get, that was our best drive of the game by far. We got to get some points out of this thing.
So it's Dom Jobin out for the 26-yard chip shot. One of the most reliable kickers in all of college football. Puts it through. So Miami on the board, but they're running out of time. Still trailing by 3 touchdowns. Under 2 to play in the 3rd. figure out why we've got Penguins on midweek action. College football primetime is presented by Ram Trucks. Isn't that Youngstown State, the Penguins?
Yeah, and I could see if it was cold out, but it's actually unseasonably warm here.
Very pleasant evening for mid-November in Oxford, Ohio. And it's been a very pleasant evening for the Toledo Rockets on the road, trying to play their way into the MAC championship conversation. Dropped 2 conference games early, but their head coach Jason Candle said, look, if we win the rest of the way, we'll be in Detroit, and they are well on their way.
So again, I think for Miami, you kick the field goal here. Psychologically, it's your best, drive of the year, of the game. Now you're calling on your defense here to get a 3 and out.
Okay, we've got Penguins, we've got a boat, and now we've got college basketball. Friday night, ESPN2, doubleheader, Michigan at TCU, and then Gonzaga and Arizona State. That is Friday on ESPN2. Overlap season is here. We got football, we got basketball, we got Graham Ike with a double-double. And Rocky, we're calling the Kentucky football game on Saturday. But Kentucky, they're home Friday night for hoops, so we're going to Rupp Arena.
Big time, yeah. My first time catching a UK game live.
This is the best time of the year for a sports fan like me who loves college football, loves college basketball. And you get them both in the month of November. Good stop there on first down by Job. That's exactly what you just talked about, Rocky. You get the field goal. Now can you get a 3 and out to inject some life into this comeback effort?
And that's the way to start it off. Now making a 2nd and 10. Bringing pressure.
Gleason realizes it, finds Vander Ross on a slant route for a first down. Gain of 10.
That's good stuff. And they're bringing the linebacker, Malcolm McCain. They know they got to get Tucker Gleason off his spot. They're trying to force a bad throw, trying to force him to throw an interception, and he just puts the ball on the money to his best receiver.
6 catches on the night for Vander Ross, and he does it quietly.
Yeah, he really does.
A reliable target for the 5th-year senior out of Tampa, Florida, Tucker Gleason, who went to Plant High School. Junior Vander Ross was at Jesuit right down the road in Tampa, and now here they are on a Wednesday night in Oxford making big plays. Let's train him up the middle for 3. And Toledo can take this game to the 4th quarter with a 3-touchdown lead and the ball. A game that we said before kickoff would likely decide which of these 2 teams would end up in Detroit playing for a MAC championship, and it's Toledo on the road with a 3-touchdown cushion as we head to the 4th quarter.
ESPN College Football Primetime is presented by Ram, official sponsor of the College Football Playoff.
Alongside Rocky Boyman, Jay Alter with you. Start of the fourth quarter. Toledo, a comfortable 3-touchdown lead with the ball. Been a good night for Tucker Gleason so far. Fifth-year senior quarterback. He's been playing like it in a big game.
He has. Especially after a little bit of a shaky first quarter, he's come back and played really well. Right now, Toledo just needs to keep sustaining drives.
Now going for it all here on first down. Vander Ross got turned around, couldn't come up with the football.
If you're Gleason right now, the last thing you can afford is an interception, because that's something that'll get the momentum to get Miami back in this game. And as you see in the second half here, 7 out of 10. 81 yards in the touchdown.
It completed 6 in a row before that incompletion, and I'm with you, Rocky. You don't even need a big play like that when you're up 3 touchdowns. You just need to keep picking up first downs and running this clock. Screen pass on third down. Trainum has the first down into Miami territory. How good has Chip Trainum been tonight?
I couldn't love that play call anymore. Look at Chip Trainum with a little angle route out of the backfield. You bring the pressure, you get right behind him, you get 3 of your offensive linemen out in front blocking. What an excellent play call by Jason Candle right there on a critical down. And that just starts to suck the life out of this Miami defense.
87 total yards for Trainum tonight, coming back from an injury that kept him out for 2 weeks. And with Trainum back and Tucker Gleason playing the best college football of his career, Toledo is playing their best football down the stretch of this season when it matters most. Deflected at the line of scrimmage that time. Adam Trick got in there again. Rocky, you've been singing the praises of number 20 for Miami defensively all night long.
Yeah, he has had one heck of a game here tonight.
Rockets keep it on the ground. No room to run. Completely swallowed up. Oscar McWood got there first for Miami.
Miami just has a bunch of linebackers. We've called about 5 different linebackers' names, and I'm making big plays at the line of scrimmage or behind it. That time it's McWood's turn.
Now Toledo, the difference in this game has been third down. They are 7 of 11. A lot of those third down pickups have resulted in touchdowns. Miami just 3 of 11. Can Gleason dial it up again on a 3rd and 12?
Gonna bring some pressure here, looks like. Here it comes.
Gleason reads it. Picks up the first down with his feet. A flag comes in.
And I think it's gonna be a holding call on Cole Rhett. Excellent decision right there by Tucker Gleason to tuck that thing and run, but it's gonna come back.
A gain of 22 negated with a costly hold. And that's the one thing Jason Candle will preach to his team this week. Even if they hold on and win this game, they could have won it even more comfortably if not for all these penalties.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both on the offense. Holding, offense number 52, is declined. Holding, offense number 73. A 10-yard penalty being forced from the previous spot. Third down.
Yeah, it was 74, Cole Rhett. Left tackle.
It looks like the left guard and the left tackle could have been whistled for a hold there.
And
then
like
52 as well.
And it looked like it was a design quarterback draw. As an offensive lineman, you just need to like club those guys upfield, because you know your quarterback's running forward right through the A gap. You don't need to hold him.
So a 3rd and 22 for Gleason after the penalty. And they just keep it on the ground up the middle with Trainum. will continue to run this clock. You know, that's the battle for Miami, down by 3 touchdowns. You haven't shown that you can move the ball quickly down the field. Even the 3 points they have, it took 6 minutes and 40 seconds off the clock on that drive. You don't have that time.
You don't have the time, and yeah, you finally get the stop, but just Miami's offense right now with their backup quarterback has just not shown the ability to strike quick with that clock just ticking away.
Miami goes after Duran on that punt, who gets it away and pins Miami inside the 5. Billups Williams could have let that roll in for a touchback instead. Miami will have it inside the 5 when we come back. AG has stayed down throughout that entire break, getting attended to by the Miami medical personnel. You see the head coach Chuck Martin there. Toledo's head coach Jason Candle is in the huddle as well.
And you watch, looks like AG runs into Coy Beasley right there, and just a little friendly fire, and he's down.
But a helmet on helmet collision, and the Miami medical staff out there taking a look at AG, the redshirt freshman from Cleveland, Ohio.
That's good.
Good to see him up
on his feet.
We'll step aside as AG continues to receive medical attention. Wow, Zubin. How 16 steals. That's incredible. What a performance by Hannah Hidalgo. Wow.
Well, Notre Dame, man. That's what you get. Big plays.
Hidalgo, you're going to see that and a whole lot more coming up on SportsCenter after we're done here in Oxford. Yeah, Hidalgo, a McDonald's All-American out of high school, and yeah, doing big things at your alma mater, Rocky. Miami backed up within their own 5-yard line. Cole Weaver makes the catch there. This is a Miami offense that has struggled all night long, and now you got a full football field to go to try and just stay in this game. You need a quick score of some kind.
You need a quick score, but you need some chunk yardage plays. But Vince Karras, the Toledo defensive coordinator, is not going to allow it to happen. I mean, they are going to build a wall and keep everything in front of them. It's up to Miami to try to find a way to sneak Cam Perry, one of those wide receivers, behind that defense, but that's a tall task.
Hessen threw it over the middle there and tried to go right back to Weaver. Took a big hit from Emmanuel McNeil-Warren.
He just covers so much ground. He's got good instincts. He's great ability to read the quarterback, anticipate that throw.
And he's showing why he's a Sunday player.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, how many plays tonight has he made, Jay, up in run stoppage and then the pass game as well?
Probably the last football game he'll play on a Wednesday night. Although I love that the MAC does this. We look forward to it every November. Yeah. It's a midweek college football as Hessen overshoots Weaver again. Now, these are two programs. You look at the last 8 years of this conference, they account for 4, so half of the conference championships. You know, this game, the loser probably falls out of the race a little bit. Toledo, looking like the winner right now, will jump up to over a 50% chance to play in Detroit for a conference title.
And there's Cam Perry right there. Big situation in the game. Maybe your last-ditch effort. Try to find a way to get him open.
Hessen, he was looking for Perry, scrambles out of the sack, still on his feet. Henry Hessen, that should have been a sack. Instead, it's a first down, gain of 10, a magician.
He was looking for Perry, but then here comes Eshawn Carter, and I mean, he's done it a couple times tonight. He's not quite DeQuan Finn back there, but he's shown some escapability. Pick up the first down.
A gutsy play to spin out of that sack and keep your chances alive here. Tipped ball. Went right back to Weaver. That's 4 targets to big number 84 on this drive alone.
Yeah, I mean, you love the size, but again, here's the pressure. That's Malachi Davis just walking the left tackle right back in the lap of Hessen. And that's the thing, those throws over middle that are high, they get tipped up in the air, and a lot of times those turn into interceptions. Got to be careful.
Hessen, a low throw, but it's caught. Braylon Isom, his first grab of the night, goes for 9, 3rd and short. Not only are you fighting a 3-touchdown deficit, you're fighting the clock here if you're Miami as we tick under 10 minutes remaining in this one. Ringer trying to push that pile. Needed a yard, and they say he got it.
Yeah, I mean, Josh Ringer's been a pleasant surprise for this Miami team this year. Local guy out of East Central High School, great high school here in the Tri-State. Good job in pass protection, good out of the backfield. There, picks up the first down.
Hessen this time can't escape it. Martez Pointer, the senior out of St. Louis, a sack and a loss of 4.
And a good job in blitz pickup right there by Ringer, but I mean, just a lot of white jerseys flying upfield. Martez Pointer brings them to the turf.
Hessen throwing on 2nd and 14, nowhere close. Back to Pointer for a second. He's doing something cool off the field, Rocky. He started his own clothing line called GMDC. Got money, don't care. He produces hoodies, and his former Toledo teammate, Quinyon Mitchell, who was a first-round pick, he wore it walking into one of his NFL games for the Eagles, and it totally exploded.
That's smart right there.
And what I love is that's an NIL story that is in the merit of the rule, right?
I feel like that was the nature of what NIL was supposed to be for.
He's able to profit off his clothing company, which is...
But as we know, NIL has become something completely different.
And no one knows that better than some of these MAC programs, as that was tipped in the secondary. Emmanuel McNeil-Warren and Avery Smith both wanted that interception.
Just rushing forward because they've been able to get pressure by just bringing forward, and that's a dangerous throw. That is right in the middle of 4 white jerseys. And that's a huge win right there for Toledo's defense.
One of the best units in all of college football. When you think of what Vince Karras and this Toledo defense has done, they lead the MAC in practically every category. They hold opponents to 232 total yards on average. Tonight, they've held Toledo to well under 200 yards.
Timeout.
They've got the ball back, looking to put this game away, up 24-3. Peloton Statement Saturday kicks off on ABC, noon Eastern Time. Notre Dame at Pitt, followed by Oklahoma, Alabama, and then Texas, Georgia. Your nightcap. That is a jam-packed triple header on ABC. Rocky Boyman, Jay Alter with you. Toledo in the driver's seat, 3-touchdown lead tonight on the road against Miami. And not only would this result be huge for the Rockets as they would clinch bowl eligibility, but they'd go, if you take a look at the MAC standings, really into that number 2 spot behind Western Michigan, who had a huge win against Ohio. And all you need to do is get into that top 2 to play for a MAC title. There's an injured Miami defender. That's Corbin Hondrew, leading tackler for this Miami team, getting medical attention on the far side of the field.
That's one of Miami's best players right there. 17 tackles last week, 5 tonight.
There's the head coach, Chuck Martin, walking across the field to check on Hondrew. Hondrew sits up as his head coach reaches him. Good to see Hondrew walking off the field under his own power.
Oh, yeah, he gets hit and his arm kind of bent backwards, hyperextended.
Second time tonight we've seen, friendly fire on Miami. Just a teammate trying to make a play and results in an injury, and Hondrew being.
Looks like they're going to take him inside to get looked at.
Yeah, instead of walking off the sideline, Hondrew just walking right back into the Athletic Performance Center. So Toledo's job is just to kill this clock with a 3-touchdown lead.
And a better chance right now for Toledo to run the ball without Miami's best linebacker and Hondrew out there.
Good point. And if you're Jason Candle, you're instructing Tucker Gleason, you don't take this snap any earlier than you have to. Of course, they're going to keep it on the ground. Kenji Christian lost the football. It's loose. And Miami has it. A lifeline for the Redhawks. Eli Blakey, who had an interception earlier in the game, comes up with the football, and Miami takes over inside the Toledo 30.
And watch Malcolm McCain right here is going to rip that ball out in a punch. The peanut punch. And Jay, you see that more in today's college football than ever. Guys aren't just satisfied with making the tackle. They'll go in and punch that ball out. What an incredible play by Malcolm McCain.
And McCain, the only reason he's on the field is he came in for Corbin Hondrew, who the play earlier got taken to the locker room. McCain comes in, punches it free. And, I mean, Miami was out of this game. And again, they still need a Herculean comeback, but there's a chance if you can score quick here.
Try to take a shot here, right? After getting the takeaway.
On a free possession. That's exactly what Hessen does. Into double coverage. It's intercepted. Emmanuel McNeil-Warren takes the ball right back. A future NFL safety showing why. On the very next play after Miami recovers the fumble, Emmanuel McNeil-Warren says, "Give me that."
And did he get security of that ball before he went out of bounds? I mean, look at the ground he covers, though. What a great shot there. Coming from the middle of the field to the outside part.
The officials have come together. It said incomplete pass. That McNeil Warren did not secure that football.
Wow. And more life there for Chuck Martin.
I think the ball might have just still been moving.
Yeah,
as
still moving.
McNeil Warren
secure it.
scooted out of bounds.
Here,
Let's take one more look. A flag comes in.
Pass interference, defense, number 4. Ball be placed in the spot of the foul, automatic, first down.
Kind of a comedy of errors for Toledo right now. They fumble the football to give Miami life in this game. Then they think they have an interception.
And look, that ball is just kind of moving around.
I don't know, Rocky. I think he secures that football.
It looked like he did to me as well.
Tough break for McNeil Warren. So after the penalty, 1st and 10 from the 21-yard line. Hessen in trouble. Where's he going to go with it? And he just throws it away. And if you're Miami, you just got to take shots at the end zone here. I mean, a field goal is not good enough. You're down 3 touchdowns.
But as we've seen, that's a tall task when you got Emmanuel McNeil Warren just roaming the middle of the field, having the ability to get from the middle of the field all the way to the sideline in the blink of an eye.
Hessen. Perfectly delivered ball, but it pops out incomplete. He snuck it right between 2 defenders to Cole Weaver, but Weaver couldn't come up with the grab.
And just an exceptional job on the back end by Andre Fuller, who came into this game with 8 pass breakups. That's number 9 right there.
I mean, that is ideally, maybe it was an inch or 2 high, but where you want to put it, where only your wide receiver, Weaver, at 6'4", can go and get it.
But it was just a great job by Fuller, just, you know, keeping, just ripping, popping that ball away. Worked.
3rd and 10. Hessen going right back to that side of the field, and it sails on him. 4th and 10 here. And again, a field goal does nothing for you, so you've got to go for it. After Miami was gifted the football on a fumble, was not able to cash in to this point, but maybe that's what 4th down is for here.
2 of their best receivers, Cam Perry and Cole Weaver, to the top of the screen. Ball's got to go in their direction. One of the 2.
Well, this feels like the ball game for Miami. Toledo sends pressure. Hessen throws. And it's incomplete. Knocked down, and it's a turnover on downs. DJ Kelly, the freshman, swatted it out of the sky.
Incomplete pass. Turnover on downs.
Yeah, this ball's thrown into double coverage.
So as we take a look at the MAC standings, I mean, with that getting knocked down and Toledo taking over, they're going to go to 4-2. Miami's going to go in 4-2. Toledo's got the tiebreaker, though. Buffalo, they are losing right now to Central Michigan, so they're going to go to 4-2. They're down 31-13, so it's Toledo by the end of the night, they're going to be behind Western Michigan as that number 2 team in the MAC.
Yeah, huge swing of events for Toledo, getting the win, getting a little help from Central.
And that's what their head coach, Jason Candle, said. Even though it was disappointing to lose a 1-point game to Western Michigan and a 5-point game to Bowling Green, he said, look, I've coached in this conference long enough. This is his 10th year. If we win out, there's going to be chaos around us. There always is, and he's absolutely right. With a win, they go to 53%, and that number is only going to continue to climb. And what a good job Jason Candle has done in his decade at Toledo. Now the all-time winningest coach in Rockets history, and 2 MAC championships. He's kept his staff together in the era of NIL craziness. They retain players better than almost anybody in the country.
It's harder than ever to do, but somehow Jason Candle just continues to get that done. With all the money getting thrown at a lot of these guys, especially some of those guys on that great defense they have, he finds a way to keep it together.
And look, I'm not his agent, but if you're there's a lot of openings in college football. This is a guy that didn't just have 1 or 2 good years, right? He's been doing it for a decade, a great track record.
Well, he's shown he can keep a team together. He's shown he can develop players, which is more important than ever, especially at the Group of 5 level. And just a fantastic coach.
Third and 5, going to let Gleason throw it. He was looking for Vander Ross. And Coy Beasley was in the way. Brings up 4th down. So Toledo has to punt it away and let their defense get one more stop here. Billups Williams calls for the fair catch. 5:32 to go. Coming up after us, Sports Center here on ESPN2. Hannah Hidalgo, 16 steals in a single game for Notre Dame. A historic night for her on the court. And we'll be talking about the Eagles' A.J. Brown drama. And then NBA, Warriors, and Spurs. A busy Wednesday night on Sports Center. There's our random fandom, Michael Hawkins. He's telling you Sports Center is next, the ultimate Red Hawk super fan we told you about in the first half. He's known for his homemade football helmet. He's known for his signs. And what an incredible story. He's been rooting for Miami since he was 7 years old in 1965. Neighbors with Bo Schembechler. It does not matter if you're in Oxford, Ohio, or Oxford, Mississippi, anywhere in between. That's the spirit and fandom that makes college football so special. You know, the one thing that I didn't get to say about Hawkins in the first half is that, you know, we spoke to him earlier today, and he said he hasn't missed a game home or away, 60,000 miles on the road, driving to Miami road games. And he said he's been battling cancer for 11 years, and the day after he had cancer surgery, he was here at Yager Stadium rooting on his Red Hawks. And we wish him well as he continues that battle that's been going on for over a decade now.
Yeah, it was really fun meeting him before the game, seeing his passion for this program.
That's a true sign of a fan, too. You're down 3 touchdowns, but you're still up
here.
there
Let's
rooting
go.
your team on with under 5 minutes to go in this game. You feel for Miami because it feels like this is a different game if you got your starting quarterback Daquan Finn in, who's a MAC most valuable player for Toledo and all set to face his former team in a game that'll decide who plays for a MAC championship potentially, and you got to roll your backup out there.
Yeah, it's just a shame because you'd like to think Daquan Finn coming in, playing against his former team, was going to put up a heck of a performance. Just couldn't happen tonight.
No, we were looking forward to it.
Oh.
And, you know, it's not a knock on Henry Heston, who's been a great program player, 5th-year senior. You know, Chuck Martin even said to him in the offseason, hey, you've been loyal to us for 4 seasons. If you want to go play football somewhere, because we're bringing in a starter, I'll help you go find the right spot. And he said, no, I want to see this thing out. And he got his opportunity tonight, but against the Toledo defense is one of the best in the nation.
Right. Not the easiest thing to do to play against this defense, and kind of a surprise start.
Swallowed up for a sack again, Jeremiah Peters.
Just another 4-man rush and just a speed rush. Nice dip and rip outside there.
Third and 15 after the sack. Under 4 minutes left in this one. Hessen, nobody open. It's about half of the yards he needed for the first down there. Fourth down here. And Miami's been so good on fourth down all season long. 9 of 12 entering tonight, but tonight just 2 of 5.
I'm bringing pressure.
Now that's intercepted. The pressure causes another turnover. Avery Smith. He actually would have been better off just knocking that down for a turnover on downs. Instead, he intercepts it and brings it to the 2-yard line for Toledo.
Toledo's been rushing just 4 most of the night, and they bring pressure there, forces the bad throw.
Toledo 3 minutes away from picking up their 6th win of the year. They will be bowl eligible for a 16th straight season. Look at the consistency. Georgia, Boise State, Oklahoma, Clemson, Alabama, and Toledo. And 10 of those 15 years with Jason Candle as their head coach.
As we've been saying all night, and can't stress enough how hard that is to do, especially in the MAC, where it just continually gets players picked off by the P4 schools. Just found a way under Jason Candle to continue to develop players, get the right guys in here, keep the ones, keep good players. That's what's leading to that streak.
You look at the other 5 schools on that list, and even Clemson, they're 4 and 5. They got to win 2 of their last 3 to keep that going. I mean, it is hard to win college football games, and Jason Candle's done it as good as any of the big-time programs over the last 15 years. You look at their 5-4 record, and it's so misleading because 3 of those losses by just 1 score, including against Kentucky. And he said, you know, it's kind of cliche, and coaches will use the excuse, but we're 3 plays away from, you know, being 8-1. But they are 2 minutes away from being 6-4. Closing in on their first road win of the season, and they have done it in dominant fashion. College football playoff will be here before we know it. The official sponsor of the college football playoff, Ram, ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by Ram Trucks. Rocky Boyman, Jay Alter with you. You know, Toledo, they're battling to get into the MAC championship picture after 2 early conference losses. The one thing they had not done this season, win on the road, and they are doing that in convincing fashion tonight.
Remember, their 4 losses on the road, they were averaging under 15 points per game. Tonight come out and score 24.
Needing 2 yards for the first down where they could potentially start kneeling it out, and didn't gain any, so they'll be forced to punt it away here. I mentioned the college football playoff, the committee unveiling their new 12 last night. Now, I'm always interested, Rocky, in who that group of 5 team is going to be. It's not going to come from the MAC. They beat each other up. You know, for much of the season, it's been, okay, the American was probably the best group of 5 conference in the non-conference. So right now, the committee's got South Florida in there. I'll give you a team to look out for, though, Rocky.
I know you're going to say.
James Madison.
There you go. We've caught them twice this year.
You know, if they win out, I think they're going to be hard to deny. A lone loss against a really good Louisville team on the road. This is the bracket as it stands. South Florida, that team we're talking about, in the 12 spot. There's a lot that's going to still be decided here because the SEC is going to continue to beat up on each other. For example, 5 Georgias playing 10 Texas this weekend, and only one team's going to win that. What stands out to you?
I think, to me, again, kind of like you just said, where the SEC and where they're placed right now, but a lot of change is going to happen. You mentioned the Texas-Georgia game. That'll jostle things up. But, yeah, interested to see South Florida. Can they hang on? JMU's surging, playing great football.
There's still a lot to be decided over the next month before the college football playoff.
Which is what you want, right? As a college football fan, you don't want it determined by the end of November. It's going to go down all the way to the wire.
An overlap season is here. Plenty of college basketball, NBA action tonight. We've had some college football for you. Great dance moves from the traveling Toledo fan there. And coming up on SportsCenter, you'll have a full recap of a busy Wednesday with Ryan Smith and Trevor Scales. That coming up in just a minute here as we wrap things up from Oxford, Ohio. A low snap. One more stop from a Toledo defense that has stolen the headlines, deservingly so.
And we build Toledo's defense coming into this game. And yes, it was against the backup quarterback, but I mean, they were lights out all game. Stopped the run, took that away. Nowhere for Henry Hessen to throw the ball. And Jason Candle, and we've talked about him all night, the job he's done in his 10 years at this program, keeping the team together, developing guys, and here they are, end of the season, looking to be on top.
Yeah, bowl eligible for a 16th consecutive season. A remarkable streak that Toledo keeps alive with a convincing road win. Our final score, 24-3. For Rocky Boyman, our crew behind the scenes, I'm Jay Alter saying so long. Let's get you to SportsCenter. Ryan Smith, Trevor Scales, they've got you covered on a busy Sports Wednesday.